Does anybody remember this commercial? It says, just ask Mr. Owl.
Mr. Turtle, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? I never made it without biting. Let's go ask Mr. Owl. Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? Let's find out. 1, a tahoo, 3, crunch, 3. Why do I still know that commercial verbatim and I haven't seen it in years? The world will never know. Hi friends, welcome to episode 52 of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Kalisha and you can find me anywhere online as Nadira Tani. Thank you so much for coming to spend some time with me today. I really appreciate it. I am coming to you as usual from my home in Central Florida, and as usual I have not looked at the date. Today is Monday, August 27th. Let's see if I know. Oh yeah, August 27th. I don't know why I'm so proud of myself for knowing what the date is. Anyway, yes, this is my weekly craft cast where I talk about the different things I've been making and creating and sharing all those things with you. Let's get into it. So, I have a couple finished objects that I want to talk about. The first is, I guess, it's like hovering somewhere between mostly finished and finished. Technically it's finished, but I'm going to do some more tweaking to it. So it looks kind of crazy, and I don't know how I feel about it. But I finished the Hong Day by Trish Young. And it is a crochet top, a boxy top with a lace, like a lace detail at the top, and then the rest is just double crochet. Now I used, what yarn was this? Lion Brand Cupcake in the Sunny Day colorway. And because the top is made in pieces, you have a front and a back that you have to crochet, and then you seam them together. I used 2 balls, one for the front, one for the back, so that the colors would match, or so that the striping sequence would match. The only thing I did not think through, for real, was the seaming. So I decided to kind of go a little bit left field with it, and I'm going to show it to you now. And I honestly don't know how I feel about this, but we'll see. Which way is the front? Okay. So this is the top, and as you can see, it's a really pretty like color gradient through all the colors, and there's the back. So I did manage to match it pretty well, and you can see where I went a little rogue and left field with my seaming. So because when you seam in crochet, you do tend to see the seamed yarn like through the seam. I didn't want to like seam it on the inside and then turn it right side out and then just see it peeking through. So I was like, I'm just gonna seam it on the outside and do like an exposed seam detail. And I don't know. This is how it worked up. So I haven't blocked this or anything. So this is me just tugging on it a little bit. And it's the same yarn it's the same color that I ended with up here. So that's how it's looking. I like how the lace finished. And I did end up doing some yarn management at the top, because in the actual cake, after this yellow, the next color is like a cream white. Yeah, a creamy white, and then it goes back into this pale yellow. So I didn't like the stark contrast that it had, so I basically just cut up the ball. So I cut at the end of this yellow, cut out the white, and picked up with this, with the pale yellow. And I like that a lot better than if I had used that stark white. And then, like I said, I seamed it with that as well. So I guess I can just put this on real quick. This is it unblocked. So there's my seam. And the top detail. I really, really like the lace. So what I was saying last week is I felt like the top wasn't going to be long enough, and it's completely not long enough for my taste. Now I could wear it with like a tank top underneath, and like I have like the spaghetti top tank tops that are about like this long. So I could wear it like this and just go. Or I can add to the bottom, and I would want it to be about this long. So let me show you. Now I have yarn fibers in my chapstick. All right, this is what is left over of the yarn. And I basically tied everything, like magic knotted everything back together. So this is the rest of this pale yellow from both balls knotted together, and then the cream white, so of both balls in there. And then there was this tan, which then at the end of one of the balls went to this this red. So what I'm thinking is attaching this ball to the bottom here, because in the actual gradient, if it had kept going, this red goes into this one and then starts going this way. So if I work down, I'd still technically be in the color, like the color repeat. So we'll see. So I'm thinking about attaching this here and then working in the round. And I don't know, maybe mimicking the lace from the top down here, or just doing more double crochet. Then I thought, well, Kalisha, if you add rounds to the bottom, your exposed seam isn't going to be all the way down. So then I was like, okay, well, I still have more of this pale yellow, so I could always like pick up and like fake an exposed seam down there. We're gonna see what happens. So it's basically wearable right now. I think, I still have to put like single crochets around the neckline, or the pattern says to put single crochets around the neckline, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I like it just like this. And we're gonna see what the deal is, or what I'm gonna do about this length situation. Also, I'm gonna steam block it, because this is acrylic. So if I steam block it, I can stretch it out and it'll stay there. So I might be able to get away with just stretching it. Fingers crossed, that would be ideal. But we'll see. But yeah, this is all I have left from the two balls, which I feel like is enough to make like another project of some sort. So take this back off, because this is hot. Everything is hot in Florida. So yeah, that is Hong Day by Trish Young. Super easy pattern to follow, super easy to modify. I would definitely recommend doing it in a solid yarn if you want to make this top. It will make your life so much easier. But you know, Kalisha always got to do things the hard way, evidently. All right. My next finished object, I don't have the actual object to show you, but I do have a little video clip that I can put in just so that you can see like what was going on. So I think I said all of this in the video, but in a nutshell, I found a Ravenclaw Quidditch sweatshirt at the Goodwill Clearance Center. And I don't know if you like have a Goodwill Clearance Center near you or even know what that is, but it's basically like the stuff that didn't sell in the regular Goodwill gets sent to the clearance center, and they sell everything by the pound. And I think it was like $1.19 a pound. So I got the sweatshirt, I got this shirt, and like a couple other shirts for myself, and like some other little fabric-y things, and it only cost me $3.50. So that was a huge win. But my friend Cherie is a huge Harry Potter like fan, and whenever I see Ravenclaw things, because she's a Ravenclaw, I always want to like get them for her. So the minute I saw this sweatshirt, I knew I was gonna buy it, and I snatched it up and was like looking around like somebody was gonna try to jump me for it because it was that awesome. So I'm gonna insert the clip here of this discovery, and you can see what I did with it. Hi friends, I found this sweatshirt at the Goodwill Clearance Center, which is basically where everything that doesn't sell in the regular Goodwill gets sent to the clearance or the outlet center, and then they sell everything by the pound. So I found this sweatshirt. I'm super excited because I have a friend who I'm going to give this to. So let me show you what my little plan is. So here's the sweatshirt. How awesome! She is totally going to love this. Now, when I saw it, it was in the bin like this. So I just saw like Ravenclaw, and I grabbed it and like put it in my like stuff I was gonna get. And then as I'm walking around, I looked at the back. It's got somebody's name on it. So I was like, well, there's no way that I'm going to leave this here because it has somebody's name. I'm sure there's a way that you can get this, like, this is like that, like the heat transfer vinyl. I was like, I'm sure there's some way I can get this off. Let me go on the internet, figure it out, right? So there's like all of this stuff that you can do to get heat transfer vinyl off. But I'm not trying to buy any solvents. I'm not trying to like go through all this because I really just want to give it to her today because I just love giving things to people. So allegedly you could take an iron and iron on the heat, like the transfer, like the vinyl part, and peel it off. So you can see that I started doing that right here, but it is so hard to do. Like, it's ridiculous. So this little bit, and I basically just got the little thin line from around the end, that took me like 15 minutes. I'm not about to do all that. So what I'm going to do is, instead of trying to peel it off, I'm going to make a nameplate to go on the back of here. So I'm going to cover up Doan, whatever. I'm going to cover up this person's name with like a solid fabric. And then I'm going to use these letters, these iron-on letters. Now they are black, so I think I'm going to cover it up with white and have like a white block with the black text on it to say her name. And I'm going to iron those on to the fabric and then sew the fabric onto here like a patch, and that's going to be it. So fingers crossed it works. We'll check back. Okay, guys, I'm so stinking proud of myself right now. All right, so this is the front of the sweatshirt. It's so comfy. I wish they had a Hufflepuff one, or like I need to find out where this was made, because the sweatshirt is soft and squishy and I love it. But let me show you. I am like really feeling myself right now. So that's the nameplate that I made. and I will insert a picture so that you can see it. But I feel so awesome right now. I am so proud of how that came out. Like, I started with the idea, you know, to remove the lettering, and then when it didn't work, I kind of had, like, if you ever watched Project Runway, Tim Gunn in that show was always telling the designers, make it work, make it work. And I had that in my head when, like, the first plan failed. So I was like, okay, I have to make this work. What am I going to do? So I came up with the idea to put, like, to recreate a nameplate to put on the back of the sweatshirt. And I went and I gave it to her, and she loved it, and I'm super excited. Her birthday is coming up, I think, this Friday. Yeah, this Friday. So the day that you guys are watching, well, the day that I post this is her birthday. So, Cherie, if you watch this, happy birthday. But she loved it, and I was just so absolutely thrilled with how that project came out. So, yeah, thumbs up for the Goodwill Clearance Center and randomly finding super awesome things there. So that's everything for my finished objects section, and I guess we'll go into works in progress now. So the first work in progress is my Gemini shawl. Now, I feel like every time I show this shawl, I'm telling you guys how I frogged something out. I didn't frog anything out this week, but I'm going to. So let me show you where it is. Okay, yeah. Last week I had said that I was frogging the striped section because I was overspending on my yarn allowance. So I frogged all of that and recrocheted it, and this is half of Gemini. Ooh, this angle right here, it makes me so happy on the inside. So this is half of Gemini. I'll show you this way so you can see it. And it's gonna go like that. And then it's gonna be mirrored on the other side. Now I've started writing up the pattern from this so that I can make the second half from the pattern that I wrote for this as kind of a test crocheting myself. So here is the progress so far on the other half. And the colors switch up a bit. So that's where we are in the second half. And this is them together. Let's see if I can do this. Come on, hands. No? Yes? No? Maybe? There we, is that right? Yes, that's right. So that's how it's going to look. Yeah. So this is where the frog story comes in. So I don't know when this realization came to me, but it was like, I feel like it was in the middle of the night, and I was just like, oh my gosh, that red yarn I'm using is Madeline Tosh. And Madeline Tosh red yarn has a reputation for bleeding. And that, like, low-key terrified me, because as you can see, this red yarn is worked right up against basically a white yarn. And I was like, if I crochet this whole shawl and then go to block it and all of my white yarn turns pink, I'm going to cry, like, point blank period. So I said, okay, let me figure out how to set this dye. So I will insert a picture of what the water looked like when I soaked the unused yarn. So I had used half of it in the first half of Gemini, and I had the second half that was sitting in the wings ready to be used. So I wound it up into a hank, put it in some water to soak, and it bled. So I'm going to put up a picture so that you can see. And so that's how much it bled out. Then I went online to see, like, how can I set this? What can I do? Like, is my project doomed? And basically everything was saying, well, all you have to do is soak the yarn in water with some white vinegar and then heat set it again. So basically take some water, put it in your pot, put some vinegar, a glug of vinegar in it, put your yarn in there, heat it up, and then let it come back down to room temperature. And basically the yarn will absorb all of the extra dye that's in there. So I did that. I was like stressing out while it was cooking, and I let it sit for a few hours. And then when I came back to it, this is what it looked like. And I was the happiest person this side of the Mississippi, y'all. I can't even, like, it was so stressful. So this section, or this yarn, is now safe. So I'm okay to go ahead and finish working this up. But what that means is this side hasn't been heat set, and if I go to block this, it's gonna bleed. So basically, you guessed it, I am ripping out this whole section. Not even this whole section. I'm ripping out this whole half a shawl. But yeah, it's definitely for the best, because I'm so excited about this piece and about this design that I will be completely and utterly heartbroken if the bleeding ruined my work. So get a nice look at it, because as soon as I finish writing up the pattern and the instructions for what I did on this section, or on this bit, I'm gonna rip it all out, and then I'm gonna heat set this red yarn, and then I'm gonna crochet it up again. And then I am not ripping this daggone shawl out nan other time. It's not gonna happen. So yeah, I took a picture of both of the sections next to each other, and I really like how they're lining up. And I'm excited to see the whole piece finished, and to see, like, my vision and my idea brought into the real world. So yes. Oh, let me tell you what these yarns are. So, you know, this is Madeline Tosh. This is Tosh Merino Light in the Crumble colorway. This super pale yellow is Corn Silk by Birch Hollow Fibers. And this bright yellow is Frank Ochre by Malabrigo in the Machita base. And they're all singles. Superwash Merino. Are they Superwash Merino nylon? They might be just Superwash Merino. Don't remember. But that's what's going on there. On a lighter note, the notes that I have been taking of the shawl, like while I was making it, are pretty, like, dead on for writing the pattern. So I just need to get it all written up, because this is what my notes look like. Like, this is where I started. Like, that's my doodle. And then these are all of my little notes. I'm, like, trying to figure out, like, the stitch counts and how I was going to build the shawl, and, like, pattern notes and directions on turning. And then I started writing on the back of this page, and then I had to draw out a chart for figuring out my stripes and my mitered square, and I even had to rip out another piece of paper and tape it in because I didn't want there to be another like page in between my thought process. Like, also, I have named the segments. So, part 1 is this square here, and this is called We Are Born. Part 2 is this mitered square here, and this is called Death Separates Us. And part 3 is the wing, and this is called Reborn Above. And that is everything for Gemini this week. Boom. And that's everything that I have that I am crocheting and making for this week. The next works in progress I have are the fabrics for the Quirky Monday Crafts bag update. If you didn't know, I do have an Etsy shop. Right now there isn't anything in it because I am working on this update. This update is going to happen mid-September. When I have the exact date, I will let you guys know. I'll post about it on Instagram and on here. So yes, a couple weeks ago, I put up some polls on Instagram to see like what kind of themes you guys wanted to see in the shop. So I had fandoms, space, fall, holiday, solids, and prints. And based on the votes, the majority of people wanted fandoms, fall, and prints. Yes. So in this next update, we are going to be having fandoms and fall. So I am going to show you what I have so far, and I have this lovely stack of goodness. So the two fandoms that I have tackled with this update are Black Panther and Harry Potter. I chose these because in the event that any of them don't sell, I'm digging both of them. So it's a little selfish. So yeah, so I have Black Panther, I have Harry Potter, and then I have some fall fabrics. I have my small bag and my medium-sized bag, and then I'm going to be cutting fabrics for larger bags. And the larger bags one will only be in some fall fabrics and some pattern prints. Yeah, so let me show you what I have. We'll start with the Black Panther fabric, and each one of these bags, each one of the small bags will have a zipper option, like a zippered bag option, and a drawstring option. So you get to pick your poison. So we have this fabric, and there are your contrasts. Here. And here. So those are the small ones. And then we have 3 medium bags. So, and they're all the same fabric. So there's that. Okay. And then we have Harry Potter. Now, my Harry Potter bags, I only cut 1 medium bag for now. I might do some more of these sizes, but I figured the smaller bags are easier for travel and stuff, so I wanted to have more small bags than I have on medium bags, like across this whole update. So this is the first fabric that we have on medium. And we also have it in small. Now with the Harry Potter bags, I stayed very basic with the contrast fabric just because I wanted the main fabric to really pop. So they have mostly black bottoms. We have this fabric, so like the stained glass houses, like that. And then we have stained glass Quidditch. And we have another Quidditch print like this. And this one you have a brown and cream. And one of the special things that I wanted to do with all of these bags is kind of give you guys an option of customization. With the Harry Potter, actually with all of them. So with Harry Potter, I purchased these charms. They're little owls. And I'm going to make little progress keepers. So each bag will come with a progress keeper in addition to the Made with Love ones that I normally put on my bags. And when you order one of the bags, like one of the Harry Potter bags, let me know which house you're in so that I can customize your owl to your house. And then for the Black Panther ones, they will come with a progress keeper made from these beads because I felt like this was very like vibranium. Yeah, just a little bit. So that's those. That's everything for Harry Potter. So of course, all of those details I'll put in the listing so that you can let me know what house you're in so that you can get your customized owl. And then these are the prints that I have for fall. And again, there will be zipper bags and drawstring bags. Pumpkins! Because you can't not have pumpkins in the fall. I've had this fabric for like a couple years now and I just love it so much that it almost hurt me to cut into it. I'm such a weirdo. Okay, now this one we have a bunch of different bottom fabrics that go with this awesome floral. Okay, and then some other pumpkins. I think this print is my favorite pumpkin out of all of the ones that I've done. I think that's my favorite pumpkin. And then here are the medium-sized ones. And the fall bags, their charms will be a leaf. And I have like different metal colors. So there's some gold ones, some silver ones, some bronzy kind of ones. And those I'll put like whichever one goes best with like the color of the bag once it's finished. So that is everything that, well, not everything. This is everything so far that you can expect in the Quirky Monday Crafts update. That is happening mid-September. I really hope that you guys are able to make it. And yeah, just keep your ear to the ground. I will let you know when all of this is going live. And that's everything for works in progress. So let me put these aside. Okay, so that takes us into maker plans. I have 3 things on my maker plan. The first one is a test knit. I'm going to be test knitting the Aria Shawl by The Drunk Knitter. She has an audio podcast that she's been doing for a while, but she just recently started doing a video, like she started recording video of her podcast. So I definitely recommend you check her out. She's really funny. She's always cracking little jokes and stuff on her podcast, which I think is cool. Her name is Safiyyah, and yeah, so the Aria top is like what's that shape? Halter neck. It's a halter top, and she made it originally to be a crop top, but as I don't really like having my midriff out, I'm going to do the long version for her. And I'm going to be making it, it's a DK weight project. I'm going to be making it out of Joy DK. And this is one of my stash positions. It is the leaf colorway, and I just love that green. Like, that is a Kalisha green if ever there was one. So I'm going to start on that today, actually, and so that I can like start working through the pattern. I did read through it, so now I just have to start construction and make sure that, you know, everything is making sense as I'm going through. So that's the first maker plan that I have. The next maker plan is a sweater. I finally made a decision on what sweater I want to use my gold yarn, and I think I still have it out here. Nope, I don't. So I have a ball of gold Red Heart Super Saver, 100% acrylic yarn, we all know, but I wanted to make a sweater out of it, and I decided that I'm going to use a pattern from this Classic Elite Yarns Emerald Isle book. And I got this from one of my local craft stores. They were selling like their pattern books out, and it was on sale for $1. So I am going to make this one. It's called Quirky, and it's by Tanya Berry. And that's what it looks like. So it is huge, it's oversized, it's slouchy, it has this awesome cable, which I really like. And I think the cable is only on one side. Let me see if I can find another picture. Yeah, the cable is only down one side. And this pattern, it's done in bulky weight yarn. And so what I'm just gonna do is hold the Super Saver double and make this sweater. So I'm super excited about it. Yeah. I really like how it looks. I feel like it's gonna be super cozy, and I think it's gonna look really nice on me. What do you think? Yes, I like this. So that is my other maker plan. I just feel like I am planning to make all the things, and I don't know where I'm gonna get time to do this, but frankly, you make time for the things that are important to you, right? So if creating and making is important to you, then you make the time for that. You prioritize those things that are important. Anywho, the last maker plan that I have is another knit dress. Now, if you remember a couple weeks, or was it last week? I don't even remember. I think it was last week. Whatever. I made a knit dress, and it wasn't terrifying. So I'm gonna do it again. And when I was looking through my fabric stash, I managed to find this fabric that is pretty much exactly the same as the gray fabric that was made, or that was in the pattern I used. So, hey, thumbs up for shopping your stash. I don't even know what I made out of this, to be honest. And see, it's like stretchy, appropriate amount of stretch. What even was this? I hope that I have enough. I might not, actually, now that I look at it. I think I can make it work. I might have to like seam these two together, but I'm not doing anything else with this. It was at the bottom of my fabric bin, and I can promise I've had this for more than 5 years. So it is time for you to become something great. So yes, that is my next maker plan sewing wise. I'm actually gonna play with this after I finish filming this, just to see like what the plan is gonna be for making this dress out of this like stash remnants. And that's everything for maker plans. And I only showed you one stash position in that section, so I do have some other stash positions that I want to show you. The first being something else that I found at the Goodwill Clearance Center, which is this little goodie. It's a little skirt. Isn't that the cutest little thing? But Kalisha, why did you buy a little girl skirt? This is why. Hello, Alice in Wonderland fabric. I'm pretty sure this is a cotton and steel, or is it Rifle Paper Co? I'll put it at the bottom. But look at that. And if you see the stitching there, it is handmade. So yes. And then because it was just a regular like elastic waistband skirt, like I can take out the waistband and make a project bag out of this. So I'm gonna have an Alice in Wonderland project bag. And I really wanted to buy some of that Alice in Wonderland fabric, but it was just like a bit over my budget. Yeah. So that worked out for me. What else? The clearance center is like all the way on the other side of town, and the only reason that I was over there was because I had to work in a studio down there. So whenever I'm like all the way over there, I always kind of hit up the craft stores in that area, because I'm like, I'm not driving down here again unless I'm getting paid to do it. So when I got off work, I went to the clearance center, I found those goodies, and then I went to the Michaels down there. And I found one of these because the internet is so enabling. And this is the Karen X Pantone. This is Ultraviolet Minerals. And I got that because my birthday's in February. And so my birthstone is amethyst. And it was the one I liked most out of all of them. If they had one that was like all greens, or like greens and blues, if they had it in that store, I would have gotten that one. But this one will work. So this is the yarn inspiration, or the new yarn from Karen, where it's like little 20-gram minis. It's supposed to be a bulky weight, I think. Yeah, it's supposed to be bulky. And everybody who I've seen talk about this has been saying how it's not really bulky. Okay, I still have my, my scrap ball. And yeah, if you stretch it, it's about the same as a worsted, but just sitting by itself, it's like plumper than worsted. So who knows? If there was something between worsted and bulky, it would probably be this thing. Is that chunky? Is that? Whatever. So I want to come up with a design or a pattern or something that uses one of these for crochet. And I was talking to someone on Instagram, and she was saying how she had just gotten one and she doesn't really know what she's going to do with it because the amounts lend themselves more freely to knitting, because as we know, crochet eats yarn. So I really do want to try to see like what I can create with this for crochet that will use up most of this yarn, so you don't end up with a lot of ends, or not ends, a lot of leftovers. So I got that because I was enabled by the internet, and that top one is blowing out. It's like a what color would you call that? Like a light pink. Yeah, it's a pink. That's a purpley, bluish gray, like a lavender, a darker lavender, and then purple. It is very soft. That it definitely has going for it. Very soft and very squishy. So I'm thinking maybe a hat, because it's about to be like fall everywhere else except for Florida. So I'm just gonna live vicariously through all you people who are like knitting sweaters and living their best fall lives, kicking around leaves and drinking pumpkin spice lattes, even though I don't really like pumpkin spice. I know, unpopular opinion, but yeah. And I'm gonna pretend like we have fall here while all the trees are still green. The last couple things I wanted to show you that I picked up while at Michael's were these two things. I got a new ball of Serenity sock yarn by Premier Yarns. It's a striping one, and I like the colors, so that's what it's gonna look like when it stripes up. What's it called? It is called Borealis. Gotta love those space references. And this is 50% superwash merino wool, 25% rayon from bamboo, and 25% nylon. It's a 50-gram ball. So, and I can do a full pair of socks with contrast heels, toes, and cuffs. And I have a really nice blue that will work with this. And then this is a 5mm crochet hook, ergonomic aluminum crochet hook by Loops and Threads. Now, I have recently started purchasing a lot of the Clover Amour hooks, and they're really nice, but they are a little bit more expensive. So like I never buy them regular price. I always have a coupon, and I always wait until like I have like a 50 or 60% off. This time when Joann's let out all of their 60% off coupons, they were on to us because they put all of the yarn and all of the hooks and needles and stuff on sale. So you couldn't use your 60%. I see you, Joann. You are just trying to keep us from being great and enhancing our stashes and tools. It's okay. It's fine. Because I took that 60% off coupon and I went right over to Michael's. And this is the Michael's brand, kind of a dupe for the Clover Amour. Now, Loops and Threads has redesigned the handles of these hooks. They used to be like really like a lot bigger on this part, and they didn't really like hold to the needle. It didn't really hold to the actual aluminum hook that was inside the handle. So as you're crocheting along, the handle would swivel, and that caused you to drop your stitches and everything. Was really frustrating. But they've redesigned it, and I feel like this is on par with the Amour hooks that I've used. There is a difference, of course, in like the construction of it. The Amour hooks look better, but these do the same thing, and they are a lower price point. So, I'm always looking to save $1. So those are all of my stash acquisitions. let me make sure. Got my notes over here. Yep, that's everything. So that will take us into black fibers, black threads. So on Instagram, I have been seeing this template floating around, and I'll see if I can put in a picture of it. But there have been like a couple different versions of this template. Like some of them say like 5 makers that you should be following, or like 5 designers that I really like, or different things like that. And one of them I saw said like 5 makers who, what did it say? 5 makers whose Instagram feeds give me life, or something along those lines. So I kind of wanted to like do this week's Black Fibers, Black Threads along those lines of 5 designers / accounts whose photos give me life. Sidebar, I kind of hate phrases like that, like give me life. I don't know. It feels so foreign when I say it. But 5 designers or accounts whose photos I really love. So the first one that I wanted to list is Ashlee Elle, and she is at The Dream Crochet. Of course, all of these profiles will be linked down below. I encourage you to go check them out because they are wonderful and inspirational and beautiful, and you will not be sorry for looking at their content. So anyway, Ashlee Elle, she is a crochet designer, and she has a shop on Etsy called The Dream Crochet, and her designs are really awesome. She does collections. Like, this girl is always putting out designs. I don't know how she does it, but she's amazing. And what I really appreciate about her feed, or her account right now, over the last, I don't know, couple years, she's been doing a whole lot of like photo editing and like photoshopping and making her photos or her Instagram posts look really like fantastical. I don't even know if that's really a word, but like ethereal and just kind of like magical in a way. She's always, she plays a lot with scale, actually, and that's something that I really like about her. Like, she'll be talking about, oh, I'm working up designs with this yarn, and she'll have like a picture of her that she has superimposed sitting on top of a giant ball of the yarn, and she's crocheting as the yarn comes out of that giant ball. And it's like, it's really cool to see like her imagination in a way, and I really love scrolling through her work. And like I said, she has lots of really nice designs. Like she does a lot of crochet dresses and crochet garments and sweaters and like skirts and everything like that. And I really like that everything she does, like she is a crochet artist, a crochet designer, and she has a way of taking crochet and making it feel like fun and exciting and modern in the way that she photographs her work and the way that she shares it and everything like that. So definitely check out Ashlee. The next person I want to talk about is Dawn, and her handle is at dawn.landix, and she is another knitter, maker, sewist, awesome, roundabout, like awesome lady. She and her children have a garden. They recently got some chickens, which I find super fascinating. I love the way that she takes pictures. I love the way that she captions her photos, where a lot of times when we share something on social media, we're sharing it like as a way of like kind of highlighting, of course, something that you're doing, right? But the way that she does her captions, it really makes me feel like, yes, she's sharing this for you to see and to like update other people on what's going on in her life. But she also has a way of making it seem like these are little like journaling bits of what's going on in her life that she can look back on. And she has given us the permission to kind of peek in on that. And I really like it. I especially like when she does black and white photos, and she does them quite a lot. And I just love the, I don't know, I love the vibe that I get when I look at her pictures and things like that. It's an interesting peek into her life, just like I said a moment ago. It's a really fun, not fun, it's a beautiful, quiet peeking into her life, almost like peeking through a door that's open just a little bit. I really like it. But yes, go check her out. You'll see what I mean. The next profile I want to talk about is Nathan. He is at Loop and Threads, and his profile is just like overall beautiful. He is a knitwear and crochet designer. He sells his patterns on Etsy, so if you are interested, definitely go check him out. His photography style is so clean and so warm. And I love that he does a lot of his photography out in nature, which just like ups the warmth, because you have all of those trees and you have like the leaves and things out behind him in the background. And I love the aesthetic of having like the huge chunky cowls, and he does a lot of work with very chunky pieces. And I always want to like try something like that, but Florida, so I'm just going to have to live vicariously through like his photography. But yes, I do love the way that he does his photos. He does a lot of self-portraiture as well, which is really cool to see like how he uses photography to show himself, you know? Yeah, definitely go check out his Instagram. The last person that I want to mention on here is Constance. She is at Cleo CMC, and I love her style. She has this vintage style that she sticks to. She very rarely like changes it up, you know, like she has found what she wants to look like, and she creates her own clothes. She's an amazing seamstress and knitter, and she is always sewing new dresses. Like, I love when she does Me Made May, because every single day she has like pretty much almost an entire handmade outfit on. Like, I feel like if this girl could make her own shoes, she would. But I love seeing her like 100% like 100% acknowledgement of the style that she wants to have, and living in it, and creating the things that she wants to. And I see it as like an inspiration to me to really find those pieces that make me happy and that make me feel good in what I'm wearing, and fill my wardrobe with those. I'm still on the journey of finding what that is, finding what I want to look like, but who knows. She also has a podcast, which you should definitely check out. It's called Yarning Over the Days. I'll link that below for you as well. And the last profile that I want to talk about, it's not knitting or fiber related. It's just gorgeous. It is an illustrator, and the account is illustration 315, and I just love these like pictures that this creator makes. And One of these days, I'm going to purchase one of their illustrations. They're just so wonderful. Occasionally, they do these like moving illustrations where the majority of the picture is just a still illustration, but like there'll be rain coming down the window or something like that, or like smoke coming up off the teacup. And the images are so cozy and they're so like, makes you feel all nice and warm on the inside. So check them out if you're interested in really, really cool illustrations. So that's everything for Black Fibers, Black Threads. I had fun like going through pretty much every account that I'm subscribed to, or not subscribed to. I had fun going through pretty much every account that I follow on Instagram, like looking for ones that like jumped out and that I really wanted to share with you guys. And there were so many other ones that I would love to share, but I was trying very hard to stay like on brand for Black Fibers, Black Threads. I only deviated slightly with the illustration one, but it was just too beautiful not to share. So that's everything like crafty for this week. I did, let's see, what did I have for life and whatnot? I don't know. I got new glasses. And I don't know like if any of you guys, like if you're a person who wears glasses, right? And you get new glasses, does it feel like you got a new face? Because it kind of feels like that to me. Like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be so different. I didn't even get like super different glasses. Like these almost look exactly like the ones that I had before, except for they're a little bit longer and they're like gray. Also, I got, these are from Firmoo, I think it's how you pronounce it, FIRMOO, I think, .com. And they sent out this email like, hey, get a free pair of glasses for 72 hours. So I was like, bet. Let me, get a crazy pair of glasses, because I'm always talking about wanting a like crazy color pair of glasses, right? I'm like, oh, I could get like a bright pink pair of glasses or green glasses or just something that's just like, yeah, or clear glasses, right? So I go into this, I'm like super excited. I'm gonna get some bright color glasses. They're free, so you don't really have to worry about anything. Like, I mean, mine aren't free because my eyes are terrible. So I have to pay for like the fancy lenses. But so like I made this list. I have my favorites list, like some crazy color ones, like some bright color ones, put my prescription in there. I'm ready to go. So I'm like narrowing down like which one of these glasses I want to get, right? Kalisha says she wants bright, crazy glasses. Kalisha gets gray glasses. What is that? What is that? Like after I ordered them, actually no, not even after I ordered them. When I narrowed down to these, I was sitting there like, you were supposed to get like red ones or like just funky glasses. Cause the other glasses I have is the same prescription, so these were supposed to be like the crazy ones. I got gray. Like, can you see these? Can you see how gray they are? I don't know how to be crazy. I guess I'll just have to knit crazy color sweaters like that pink one, that pink Dayglow one that I made. Or like the yellow sweater I'm about to knit. Maybe that's where my crazy color comes in. I can't wear crazy color on my face and on my body. Said nobody ever. The next time they have like a sale or like any of these online internet glasses places have a sale where I can get a free pair of frames and all I have to pay for is the lenses, I'm gonna get some like wild and crazy frames, y'all. I'm gonna do it. Cause I I want fun glasses. Is that weird? Is it weird to want fun glasses? What is weird is me sitting here by myself in my house ranting about how I want fun glasses. And on that note, thank you guys for being here today. Thank you for bearing with my weirdness. I know I blame it on the coffee. This is iced coffee from Wawa. So blame it. Blame it on the coffee. So yeah, thank you guys for being here today. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed the things that I shared. I hope you go and visit those Instagram accounts that I mentioned. Anybody else that I mentioned on here who has like podcasts or Instagrams or anything like that, I will link them in the down bar. So definitely go check them out. Show them some love. And I am going to go and get started making some things. Figure out if I can make a dress out of that little bit of fabric that I have on the floor. Who knows? Who knows? Thanks for being part of my universe, guys. Bye.